Password at the halfway point is brought to you by Casey's. Here for good, 89-cent medium fountain drinks, 89-cent medium frozen drinks all summer long. Tell me, what's the tally right now?
Right now, Common and Fun have the lead for the first time this game. They lead 42-36. As always, you can watch the second half of the program Password on KFAN.com/watch. You'll also be able to watch the bracket reveal Tuesday at 1:15 at KFAN.com/watch. Ready to get back to the game?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, Rose.
Let's go.
Didn't get pulled off the end of the bench to come in here and lose.
No.
All right, Fun
We're right there.
and AJ, turn down your headsets, please. The password is dirty. Rosen, you're trailing down by 6. You got the option. What do you want to do here?
I'll go first.
Sounds very confident. Rosen and AJ for 10.
Filthy.
Dirty. Yes. There we go. We're back out front. Let's go.
Layup.
Fun. Slam.
Slam.
Dunk.
Dunk.
At least Rosen's calling his own
my
ones
God.
layups. Yeah. Instead of just accusing
Before he
him.
never
Get the
won.
punch.
All right, Rosie and AJ have the lead. Again, it's 46-42.
Did you come up with that word during the break? Just to give him a chance? Like put him back in the game?
Settle.
All right.
Common and Rosen, turn down your headsets. The password is Sting. Fun, it's back on you. You're down 4. You've got the option. What do you want to do here?
Second, please.
Rosen for 10.
B.
Sting.
Oh, Roser!
It was a calculated risk.
I'm a
Not too
pro at these
calculated.
things.
Because I knew they were going to say that, and I was going to come back with police.
I don't know what else I'm going to give you.
That was my plan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm mapping it out.
Well, your plan's got you down 14 points.
Wow.
56-42.
Thanks a lot.
If it's a treasure map, you're going to be broke.
56-42, Rosen and AJ have hit 20 to come out of the second half here. They have a 14-point lead. Fun and AJ. Headsets down. The password is mint. On to you, Common. You're down 14 points. You've got the option. You want to go first or second?
We'll go first.
All right, Common and Fun for 10.
Pepper.
Corn.
AJ and Rosie for 9.
Thin.
Skinny.
Common and Fun for 8.
Condition.
Sorry.
Rosen and AJ for 7.
Flavor.
Spicy.
Common and Fun for 6.
Spear.
Pickle?
Rosen and AJ for 5.
Cookie.
Sheet.
All right, last one. Common and Fun for 4.
Lifesaver.
You're going to kill yourself.
I have no idea.
Okay, put them together.
Mint. Peppermint.
Peppermint. Thin mint.
Spearmint.
Spearmint.
Yeah.
If they would have said
Oh,
breath,
I
if they would
get
have said
it.
That was
breath,
a great clue.
Right.
What said what?
if they would have said breath,
Then I would have got it.
Yeah.
That's
Why
what
did
it
you
was.
say breath?
I didn't think of it.
Why
What
did you
was
say
the
breath?
first? What was the
Spearmint
first
was
clue?
good.
The
I
first
think
clue
pepper
you
was the
gave?
first
Pepper?
one.
Pepper.
I think that just
Pepper
sent me down
mint.
the wrong
Yeah,
track.
pepper. Would
Yeah,
be.
that-
But I did the pepper when you see. Generally, when you do that, you're leading to a.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked great.
Spearmint. Spearmint was the best. That was good.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, still 56-42. Rosen and AJ with the lead. Common and Rosen, turn down your headsets. The password is sharp. All right, Fun, down 14. You need some points here.
We
You
do
got
need
the
some
option.
points.
You want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
All right, Fun and
It's
Common.
not a panic move, is it?
A little bit.
Fun and Common for 10.
Razor.
Sharp.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
That was my guess.
I was going to give you a Shannon.
I was waiting for the dull clue again because we had dull.
Massive
earlier.
exhale.
Love that. Love that.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
You could have gone different ways with the razor, though.
Oh, yeah.
Blade,
I wouldn't have been back until 2025.
scooter.
If then. Do you mean like 20, 25, 25?
That was my answer.
25.
4-point game. It's 56-52. Reminder to AJ, who's never played before, and Fun, who's played sparingly. We're playing to 80 points. I know, Fun, you're not used to that. You played to 60 last time.
Pace yourself.
We are playing to 80.
Really. You got to towel them off.
I would have started playing Program Password earlier.
Brilliant.
All right.
There goes my tea time I wanted for next weekend. Fun and AJ, turn down your headsets. The password is Echo. Common, you're down 4. You've got the option. You want to go first or second?
Go first.
All right. To take the lead, Common and Fun for 10.
Reverb.
Echo.
That's what I learned. That's a good clue.
It's a really good clue.
Thank you.
Really good.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep.
Common and Fun back in the lead.
Yes,
They are
sir. Right
Ain't
where
nothing
we
you
should
can do,
be.
Rose.
Yeah.
18 points
Nothing they
away
could've
from
done.
victory. It is
Wasn't
62
chamber.
to 56 over Rosen and AJ. Common and Rosie, turn down your headsets. The password is spray. All right, AJ, decision's on you now. You are down 6 points. You've got the option. What do you want to do?
I'm going to go first.
All right, to regain the lead, AJ and Rosen for 10.
This ain't no initials game. By the way.
Mace.
Spray.
Nice.
Wow. That was really good.
I was going to say Glenn.
I was going to say pepper, but then we already did that.
Nice.
Nice job, Rose.
Mace, great rapper.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's what we call our youngest, Mason. Mace.
Nice.
Mace in your face.
So now Rosen and AJ have the lead. It's
Wow.
66 to 62. They are 14 points away from a win. Common and Fun, 18 points away from a win. Fun and AJ, headsets down, please.
Trouble.
The password is prize. Common, decisions back on you now. You're down 4 points.
I'll go first.
He's very confident.
Oh, yeah.
Common and Fun for 10.
Booby.
Trap.
Rosen and AJ for 9.
What?
Contest.
Race.
Common and Fun for 8.
Booby.
Prize.
Yes.
Booby prize?
Booby prize. You know what that term means?
I don't know that term.
Really? That's like a last place. It's like they give
Like
it
a
to you.
toilet bowl kind of
Yep.
thing?
AJ's not aware of what that is like.
My God.
Yeah,
You've
last
never
place.
Oh, yeah.
won that
All he does
before.
is win.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That would
Trap was
that was good.
not a bad guess.
No, it was a good
yeah,
answer. It was a
great
great answer. I didn't even think of that option.
Booby
And
prize.
AJ was thinking, and I was
Booby prize.
going.
That would have been my
Please don't
first
get
clue,
it.
too.
Please don't
Were you
get it.
thinking breast or yoga pants?
No comment.
Power trip would have been a whole
very
different.
distracted.
Yeah, right.
So here's where we're at. Common and Fun now have 70. So if you get 10 points, you are the winners. Rosen and AJ, you're 4 back at 66. You need 14 to win.
Okay.
All right.
Common and Rosen, turn down your headsets. The password is busy. All right, AJ, decision's on you. You're down 4 points, but you have the option. What do you want to do?
It scares me, but I think I have to go second.
All right. Fun and Common for 10 and the win.
Body.
Torso.
AJ and Rosen for 9.
B.
Bonnet.
Fun and Common for 8.
Active.
Busy.
Dang it. Oh. All right. Hey, Rose. Yeah,
Brilliant. Brilliant.
that was a tough.
That's a tough
I didn't
one.
know what else to do.
Yeah, no, it was tough.
All right, well,
All right.
It might have actually
Crunch
been a better
time.
strategy to do it that way, though, because now they're not going to have the option the rest of the way. Whereas
Right.
if you guys would have gotten that one, they would have the option
Right.
on the big point
I
at
was
the end.
just thinking ahead.
That's it.
what it was.
Here's a
All
wrap.
about strategy.
Strategy.
Common and Fun now have 78, so any correct answer and you win. Rosen and AJ are at 66. You are still 14 away from victory. Fun and AJ, turn down your headsets, please. The password is root. All right, Rosen. You're down 12. You've got the option here. What would you like to do?
Take a
5 seconds.
second.
All right, Common and Fun for 10 and the win.
Cheer.
Lead.
Rosen and AJ for 9.
Canal.
Erie.
Common
No,
and
put your hands
Fun
down.
for 8 and the win.
Cheer.
Root.
Yes, sir. Woo! Yeah. Shoot.
I took a calculated risk going second.
No, it was the right move.
This ain't no initials game, AJ.
Welcome to the bigs.
You
Booby
can come back
prize.
anytime. Unlike the morning show, you can come back anytime you'd like.
Give him a booby prize.
Yeah.
We got no problem with
Oh
that.
man.
86-66, the final
Nice
score.
job.
Both of you, thanks for coming in. That
That
was
was
I got a
great.
plug. Can I do a plug?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. I have a podcast
Yes, you
which
do.
you've appeared on.
I have, and I had a great time.
The
too.
Funhouse Podcast on the Talk North Pod Network.
Yes.
Nice.
And we look forward to I could come back. How
Yeah.
did I do? Did it was a
Oh, I think it was great.
Yeah, good.
I'll see you in 2024.
perfect. Thank you
Or
very
at the
much.
golf course next week.
AJ, thank you so very much.
Thanks,
guys. Thanks for having me.
well done.
Thanks, Ed.
Next time, Rose.
We'll pause here and come back. Dark Star Memorial Hour and Mark Rosen next here on The Fan.
And I do appreciate you being mine.
KFAN, The Fan.
And now?
And now
There's Val.
pull up in front of. Here's how it works in the real world, just so everybody knows. Pull up, you give the guy $20, you tell him, take good care of it, it's the only one I've got. When you come out, there'll be two guys holding the doors open for you and whoever you may be with. Slip the kid $5 and off you go. A lot of people say, it's $25 and you didn't get anything for it. It's $25 and I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Then you go to Lariano on day 5, and if he's got it, you're in good shape. If he doesn't have it, get the women and children out of the first 5 rows in left field. If you don't want to have any fun, don't come here from 2 to 3. Go someplace else. No. You're not getting off this easy. Oh, it's a plus. You just eliminated yourself from my consciousness. You are what you wear, except for meat sauce.
Here's a Dark Star Memorial for you today. Common. Hoping you could mention our coworker and friend during the Dark Star Memorial Hour. Troy's untimely passing at the age of 50 after a battle with cancer has deeply affected all of us. For 20 years, Troy dedicated himself to managing the Herald Journal sign shop and served as an account representative for the company's newspaper and print department. Troy was not only an outstanding professional, but also an exceptional community leader. His commitment to the town of Lester Prairie was unwavering, and he actively participated in various organizations, such as the Lions Club, Park Board, Prairie Days Committee, and Business Association. For years, he served as the Little League coordinator, earning him the affectionate nickname Mr. Lester Prairie. Additionally, Troy played a vital role as Lester Prairie Schools media coordinator, providing music for proms, plays, graduations, and sporting events. Troy's passion for sports was unmatched, and he was an avid fan. He was not only a remarkable individual, but also a devoted family man who particularly enjoyed coaching his children during summer leagues. He was also a loyal listener of the program and would have KFAN on the shop speaker system for all to hear. His recent funeral was held at the school's gymnasium. The gathering was filled with countless stories and cherished memories. We will always remember Troy as a great person who made a positive impact on everyone he encountered. It would mean a great deal to us if you could ask Dark to keep an eye on our dear friend Troy. I'm sure they are already discussing the twins' inadequacies. Thanks, Common. Keep up the mediocre work. coworker and friend, Bruce. May he rest in peace. Like Tenby, we mentioned earlier that you and I have always been big supporters of women's sports, particularly Minnesota-based. I was a Minnesota Golden Gopher-based women's softball team fan, but I think I've given that up. We're down 3. No! Oh, it's 2-0. I thought it was 3. It was 2-0.
They made a mistake with the graphics.
Yes, a 2-run home run, bottom of the first inning for Indiana. So they lead 2-0 in this Big Ten semifinal. Where is the Big Ten tournament being played, Tenby? We're not hosting it, are we?
No.
I think we would have heard that already.
I don't know where it is.
But
It's being hosted by the University of Illinois.
So it's
in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, Eichelberger Field.
And now we're out of the inning, but a 2-run home run for Indiana, and it's going to the top of the second inning. You bring your... Oh, there. I was just wondering.
$12.
I just want to make sure.
Go back and forth. As soon as the Kraken get eliminated.
Well, that's not so much back and forth because that was only 4 yesterday. I got 12. I'm $8 in the good right now. I still am... Here's the deal.
See,
I'm stunned that you picked Phoenix to win that.
Well, it's a sucker bet. I did it only because for the bit. I didn't think Phoenix was going to win the series.
Huh?
I really didn't. I told you that. I said Denver's the best team I've seen. What are you looking at me like I'm crazy
Why would you make
for?
a bet then?
Well,
because it's something.
No, you didn't do.
No.
You always say that when you lose bets.
No.
Never when you win bets.
No, he's now making them. Find the audio when we made the bet. I said, and I think Denver. Oh no, I think Phoenix is going to win. I go, really? Oh yeah. I mean Booker, 85%.
Well,
and I looked at
Booker
you
was
and
playing.
I said to you, see, here's your problem as a TV sports guy. It's all superficial. There's no thinking that goes into
jealousy is not wearing well on you.
There's no thinking.
Really?
I wouldn't have wanted to work till 11 o'clock.
Well, I know that's just it. You wouldn't have the work ethic. There's work ethic to do it.
We need to go over my work schedule that I held here at the Fan. Let's see.
Yeah.
Get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Get here at 5 to do the sports 5 to 9. Leave. Go hit a couple bucket of balls.
Yeah.
Come back and work from 2 in the afternoon till 9 at night. Then
What'd
get
you do
home.
till 2 to 9?
Ran the board first for the Chad Morrell show and then the Hagedorn show and did the sports updates.
Right.
Then done at 9, get home about 10, just enough time to get back to bed and get back up again at 4 and do it again.
Superficial.
Day after. Well, no. The superficial is you cover things just on the surface. You have scores, highlights, a 3-minute thing. You get in. You don't think deeply about sports. So you see Booker. Well, he shot 85% 2 games in a row. He'll do that every game. And I tried to tell you, he's not going to keep doing that.
You didn't hear
listen to
the 1,000 times since I watched every second of the Denver series against the Wolves that they are the best team, the number 1 seed for a reason. They are a vastly superior team. Not vastly superior. Phoenix won a couple of games.
Vastly superior. See, now you're already...
No, but I'm just saying that Denver is a more well-rounded team. That's why they were the number 1 seed. I didn't expect Phoenix to get blown out, but they were missing their center last night. They got a lot of work to do.
Guess what?
Denver is really good. I was impressed with them. I've said it all along from the first game I saw them.
Yeah.
No, I'm not backpedaling about anything.
Do you think? Well, the idea that the number 1 seed, Milwaukee was the number 1 seed too. What happened to them?
I understand that.
Okay,
I understand that. But Denver,
you bought into because Booker,
No, I did not.
because
No,
you're like you have recency.
Well, when
bias
Denver plays when Denver plays the Lakers for the Western Conference Finals, we'll have a whole nother discussion. The Lakers will beat Golden State tonight at home. They just first of all, Wiggins
that's going on.
Is this a serious take or just one for the bit of the
serious
show?
take.
Yeah, is this one just for the bit?
No. Wiggins is not going to play for Golden State.
From now on, you need to tell us.
Golden State cannot beat the Lakers unless Curry. Listen, Klay Thompson has been almost invisible in this series. Has got to go off for 40.
Can it be?
Go ahead. I'll take the Lakers tonight.
This is what's funny. The guy that laughed at me when I said the Lakers were going to win the NBA championship.
Well, I did laugh at you, and they've been the surprise team. The Wolves should have beaten them in the play-in game. Yes, they should have. If they had Naz Reid or Jaden McDaniel in that game, they would have.
Yeah, and if they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar...
Oh, come on. Are you comparing Jaden McDaniel with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
But you just start making names. Oh, if they would have had it, they didn't have
I'm just saying they did. I know, and they still should have won that game. They coughed up a 15-point lead. The Lakers credit the Lakers. They came back. But the Lakers are a much better defensive team, Much better than. And now Golden State can get hot. We know Curry's the best shooter of all time.
$4, I'll take Golden State.
Fine.
All right. You'll do it for $4?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, are you doing this for the bit, or do you really
No, I believe the Lakers are going to win tonight because Andrew Wiggins is highly doubtful. The Golden State Warriors do not have the bench that can withstand the Lakers. What happened the other night? I mean, they played their starters. The Lakers did probably a little bit too long, but they played them trying to win the game and close out the series in Golden State. But tonight they're back home. LeBron is not going to let this slip out of his hands tonight. This is not Golden State.
He's not a god.
Yeah, but he's the best player, one of the best players in the history of the game.
Well, he's 38 years old.
So what? He's playing at, look at the high level he's playing at.
Have you been watching the games?
Every minute of it, almost.
Then, how many times did he turn it over a night? How many bad shots does he take?
He's also helped them win.
Well, sure he has, but you're making it seem like he's LeBron. He's not going to allow it to happen. I think Steph, Draymond, I think the Splash Brothers have a lot to say about that.
Well, they do, if they do. But what I'm saying is that they don't have the bench. And without Andrew Wiggins, who, think about it, is an integral part of what their success is, they're going to have a lot of trouble winning that game tonight against Anthony Davis is healthy, apparently, from his concussion.
Though? Is he?
I don't know.
Or is he?
That's what I've been told.
Or is he just playing because he has to play? He's going to play at 75% because he's got to.
No, maybe that's possible, too. I don't think they have the concussion protocol they do in other sports.
He was just doing it for the bit. He knew they were going to. You should have just given me the $12 then.
Well, I kind of said that when we did it. I said, I think Denver's going to win the series. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Here's Rosie is earning his fraud father moniker today. Here's one. If that doesn't embody the fraud father mentality, nothing will.
Say what you want. I kept when the Wolves were playing Denver, I said, I am so impressed with this Denver team. They are so much fun to watch. This is old school basketball, the way they move the ball. Such as Jokic, they have a great team. I love the way they pass the ball.
But most of us knew that from the first couple of weeks of the NBA because we're paying attention to the league.
You didn't watch Denver from October till like 2 weeks ago. Give me a break. You didn't watch them for 10 seconds. You admit that, which is fine. But don't say, most of us, you haven't watched them play a game all year.
Most of us who open the sports page before 2:00 when they walk in has followed Denver and knows what they do.
By watching the sport, by looking at a box score, but not looking at the nuances of the game.
Just say, yeah. What when a story says Joker goes for 38 and 23, Jamal goes for this, and Denver wins their 13th in a row, blah, blah. I can say, boy, Denver's a pretty good basketball team.
Of course you can say that.
You said you didn't realize it until you saw them playing the Wolves.
No. I did not say, I said that it reinforced what I thought about that team. They've been building towards this, including when the Wolves edged them out a few years ago for a playoff spot. Denver's been building the type of team that the Wolves can dream about doing. That's exactly the way the Wolves want to build their team.
Tenneby has some audio.
Here's the audio from Tuesday's show. This is before. Right. The series is tied 2-2.
You just doctored this.
To win. Yeah, you mocked it. I remember.
I did.
And they're a long way from winning the whole thing yet. Trust me. I mean, they could still lose this series to Golden State, and even if they get by,
it'll get there.
Golden State, which looks like they might with a 3-1 lead, that Denver club is awful good. And
so is Phoenix.
But I think Denver's going to win it.
I don't know.
No,
I think Devin Booker is.
I don't know.
Is having an historic playoff run right now. I mean, he's
10-8. Can you fire it?
Bet.
Bet. You relied on the historic run. I thought that was going to continue. Very good. $12. I got it.
There's another $12 bet.
You relied on the historic run, and that's not going to last. He's not going to shoot 85%.
No, I know he's not going to shoot 85%.
And they decided they shut him down, and they ran them off the floor last night. They had 70 points at the half.
I know. And now they're going to have to break up the team. And now there's speculation where Chris Paul's going to end up. It's like between the Lakers and the Timberwolves next year.
Yeah, but Paul he hasn't played. The text message said, hey, Common, who do you believe will win the NBA championship of who is left? I had picked the Lakers to win it when the season started. But see, that was when the season started. Now, as the season has gone by,
beginning of the year. And kudos to the Lakers for putting the pieces together and getting the most out of their personnel. Let's not discount the Celtics. I mean, obviously, that's going to come down to that, Game 7. Poor Doc Rivers can't win a Game 7. He's had a long check. Again, it doesn't matter. You've been up the point a million times. It doesn't matter what his previous record is in Game 7s. All that matters is the Game 7, the next one, which I believe is tomorrow night. Miami would be a shock. I mean, not if they beat the Knicks tonight, but if they were to come out of the East, given their status. But it just proves that you play the regular season to put yourself in a position to get all the pieces ready for the postseason. It doesn't matter where you finish.
Yeah,
it just doesn't.
It's interesting. Jason Tatum, right after the game, they asked him, how did you rise to the occasion like that? And he was, I guess, boasting, but he did it to me in more of just kind of a matter of fact, and he's able to back it up. He just says, I'm one of the best players in the world. Mm-hmm. Most of the time when people say something like that, he goes, I'm one of the best players in the world, and, I did what I'm supposed to do, and blah, blah, blah. And most people, even myself, sometimes I'll kind of roll my eyes, shrug my shoulder, and shake my head and go, boy, you really think highly of yourself. But just the way he delivered it, and he's right, he's one of the best players in the world, and he was simply brilliant in the third quarter last night, and that was really the difference in the game. And then you look at, I don't know if you saw the Athletic story where they were talking to D'Lo, and he basically said, well, they just didn't let me do my thing when I was here in Minnesota. And so he was basically, kind of blowing his own horn that if you give me my freedom, I can do all kinds of things like I'm doing in L.A. now. And it's like, well, and we talked about this one, Tenemy and I talked about this story because I think it was either early this week or late last week that it first appeared. I think we talked about it on Monday. And it's like, well, yeah, I get that to a certain extent, but it does. You don't have to have that good of a memory to remember Game 6 last year against Memphis.
Got benched. He
got benched because he wasn't able to do the things he needed to. I mean, Chris Finch isn't going to pull him out of the game unless it's like he feels like it really needs to be. So when you hear it from a guy like D'Lo, and I like D'Lo, I wanted the Wolves to draft him instead of Big Meow. I thought he should have been the first pick overall. That looks foolhardy at this point. So when he says it, he's a nice player. He does things. The other night, was it Game 3
you see
or
the
4?
best and the worst of D'Lo in one game.
He was brilliant.
Always.
Yeah,
he starts out a house of fire, but by the fourth quarter, he's on the bench.
I think he had 21 points in the first half and nothing in the second.
Right.
But when a guy like Tatum says it, I don't think it bothers me as much. I don't think it ruffles as many feathers. And that Boston team's good. I thought for sure they were done last night. Philadelphia had them right where they wanted.
Yeah.
You've got them at home, Game 6. You've taken home court advantage from you. This is where Embiid and Harden et al. Are supposed to take charge, and Tatum was just brilliant. That's a really good basketball team. Because I thought Boston was in the finals last year and lost to Golden State, right? So Boston... It was Boston, wasn't it? Or was it?
Yeah,
it wasn't Milwaukee, right? It was Boston, and so
that looks like the Eastern Conference Championship. I know they got to play another series.
Yeah.
But Boston and Philly, to me, are the two best teams. And I mean, the Knicks are nothing. They're not. They're a good team. Miami's a good team. They're not. I don't think they're in the same category as.
No, I think they're kind of riding high right now.
They are. Good for them.
They upset Milwaukee, and then. And once you beat the 1 seed, you're just brimming with confidence. Not that you think you're, the 5 seed, the Knicks, are a pushover, but you're going, well, if we were able to beat them, there's no reason we can't take out New York, and it looks like they probably will. But
it shows you these are just the semifinals of the various conferences and this, and then we're watching a little hockey last night. Dallas beat Seattle. And my point is,
did the Kraken lose?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're down 3-2.
They came back. They were down. They came back, but.
Should I just give you the $4 now?
No. Is that the Wild get done, and it's like, God, it seems like such a long time ago, and they're just starting this second round. They're not starting. They're finishing up the second round of the playoffs. They still. It shows you what it takes to win a championship. I mean, man, you got to have a lot of luck. You got to be playing at a high level, and you got to have guys that are just really dedicated to keeping their eye on the prize, and that's. It's a grind, and mentally it's a grind for these teams. That's why the best cream rises to the top, as they say. And we got both in the Stanley Cup and The Carolina Hurricane look like the team to beat right now.
It's Big Ten semifinals. Your Golden Gophers are losing to Indiana. It's 3-1, bottom of the second. Indiana threatening with 2 outs and a runner on second.
This is a single elimination, I believe.
How surprised were you with the schedule release?
That's one of the funniest questions you've ever asked me.
Yeah, they the schedule we recited yesterday at this time, and then being spot on.
Yes.
The Open at home against Tampa Bay, Kansas City week 5, bye week on week 13, and then the end of that season is going to be 3 NFC North games. Detroit here, Green Bay here, and then they finish at the Little Rock.
As it should be. I mean, I think for any divisional teams that you want to finish up against your divisional opponents to give you the best chance of deciding it on the field and playing your best football when you're supposed to be playing your best football. And that's at the end of December and early January. So, it's not like you forget about those early September games. You don't, because last time I looked, they mean just as much as the other ones, but certainly takes on a whole different level of importance when you're playing the Kitties, who open up at Kansas City, of course, on the Thursday night game. I mean, I think the Vikings, had, you look at it and think, oh my God, look at some of the teams they're playing. Well, didn't they have the 18th toughest schedule according to, I think, the so-called experts, or the way they break it down?
Well, they break it down by mostly just because of last year's record. And so the Vikings have what would be considered one of the easier schedules. But as we pointed out the other day, they're top heavy with some of the best teams in the league.
Right.
They have Philadelphia, Kansas City, Cincinnati, San Francisco. I mean, those 4 right there. Oh. Those are 4 playoff
meat grinder. Yeah.
And so, and again, could you win all those games? Sure. You could also lose all those games.
100%.
And if you get through those 5 games and go those 4 games and go 500, I think that's a success. And that's not to downplay the purple. It's just that those are quality teams they're playing, and we don't know what we'll get from some of theirs. And if Detroit is as good as a lot of the people think they're going to be, a lot of people think they'll be, that's another 2 tough football games too.
Well, a lot of it, and the Vikings started the rookie camp today. Pretty much all hands on deck with that, and you start with that discussion about how they got exposed last year at home. We talk about got to get home field. Do you? And the Giants came in here and rolled the Vikings. The score was close, but the game wasn't. And I think the improvement has to come from the new defensive coordinator Brian Flores and what he can do with the personnel that they will have a whole lot of new personnel on that defense, and we don't even know how it's all going to shake out yet. With Za'Darius, is he going to be on this team? What's going to happen with Danielle Hunter? Asamoah's taking over for Kendricks basically. You got Booth and Lewis Seen taking over in the backfield along with a rookie or 2. So there's a lot of and I have no problem having because you couldn't bring the same people back from last year's team on defense, which was just abysmal. So, none of those questions are going to be answered in minicamp. But that's just the process everybody goes through.
Well, and this is again, and I'm sure we'll continue to discuss this as we get closer to the season and once we get to the season, but.
Yeah.
The AFC certainly seems to be a much stronger conference in that it's almost like the NFC's ripe for the taking. You have 2 teams that I think are certainly a cut above the rest. That's Philadelphia and San Francisco. Again, the old, at least on paper, going on from last year. Then after that, it's kind of wide open.
It is.
And the Vikings, if you're going on last year's schedule, 13-4, they're right there with those. They're just maybe a notch below those teams. So it's good to be in the NFC right now, and if it
is,
and if B-Flow is as good a defensive coordinator everybody wants to believe that he is, and that he's got the right pieces to do we keep hearing that he needs his defensive players to be multi-dimensional, be able to man-to-man coverage, do cover 2, be able to blitz, be able to cover running backs, the whole thing, be able to do all that. That's all fine and good because that if you have the guys that can do that, that does make your defense multidimensional and can really throw a wrench in the plan of the offense. But the thing is, do they have those players? Just because you sign some free agents and draft some kids, doesn't necessarily matter that you have those players. But if he can coach and if his system is and those guys can fill in admirably, could be a good club.
Well, yeah, it's always about quality depth because
that's true.
There's going to be injuries every year. Every team has them, and it's a matter of who do you have that can next man up kind of thing. But it's true because you can write down on a piece of paper all you want about the way this team is going to look or any team's going to look, but then 3-4 games into it, you lose a key linebacker, key defensive lineman, as we saw last year, and the Vikings weren't able to withstand a lot of those losses on defense in particular. They just didn't have the quality depth, and a lot of teams don't.
You and your daughter going to the Twins game tonight?
Sunday. She's a big Cubs, she went to school in Chicago.
Right.
Yeah, expecting crowds over 30,000 over the weekend.
Why is that? Is it people coming from Chicago? Or
yeah, I think that's part of it. I think there'll be certainly a bigger contingent of Cub fans than you have White Sox fans that come to town. And they have a pretty decent following. So, yeah, I think there'll be a fair share of Cub fans that are in town. And plus, it's Mother's Day weekend, fishing opener weekend. I mean, the weather's not going to be great. Tonight it should be fine. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain, and then Sunday should be clearing, and then next week looks great. But the Twins will be in L.A. next week playing the Dodgers next week. But, there'll be hopefully the Twins' bats will come alive.
I've never understood the fascination with the Chicago Cubs. I know at one time when they did not have lights at the stadium.
Right.
So they played all their home games during the day. They had ivy on the wall. And, they were the lovable losers because, they hadn't won a World Series since 1908.
Right.
They'd been there only once, I think, since 08 and 45, and they lost to the Detroit Tigers and Hal Newhouser. But then they finally won their World Series. How many years ago was that now? Within the last 10 years.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why fans in other locales, in other words, why would people flock to the stadium to see the Chicago Cubs? I don't understand.
I think there was a time when they were on, it was a WGN, when they were the only team you could watch
every day. That's true.
And I think that's where
Harry Carey,
and Jack Brickhouse and all those guys. But I think there was a time when the Cubs became the lovable losers, and people kind of gravitated to them. And now it's just, I don't know. It's the allure of the Cubs, I think, and of Wrigley that people still have about this franchise. And when you see the schedule, the Cubs are coming to town. It'll be fun. My daughter used to work at Wrigley Field, fan photo, taking pictures of people outside of the famous sign out there in front, and people would pose for, it'd be a collector's item. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the Twins bats will come alive a little bit more. Sonny Gray's pitching tonight. Joe Ryan tomorrow. I assume it's Louis Varland on Sunday, but it's all about the bats. Correa finally came through yesterday in the clutch, and that's how the Twins won. But they're as we've talked about over and over again. I mean, this division is just god awful right now. It's not their fault, but it's what's in their control is that they could put some distance between themselves and Cleveland and Detroit. I mean, in particular, the White Sox are just. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do on the South Side.
I'll be honest with you. I've not paid any attention to the Cubs since Ernie Banks would say, "Let's play 2."
Yeah.
Was that Ernie who said, "Let's play 2"?
He did say that.
That's the last time I cared about the
Well, I understand
Cubs.
that. Well, yeah,
Ernie Banks, Randy Hundley, Glenn Beckert.
Well,
remember who the shortstop was back then? Remember Donnie Kessinger?
Of course. Fergie Jenkins, yeah. I mean, they
Ron Santo at third.
Well, they had some. Again, you're an old baseball school guy, but you knew the lineups back then, and that's one of the problems baseball is having as a whole is that you just don't have, the name recognition for these teams, even though the Dodgers, Atlanta. You can maybe name a couple of players, but now that we have interleague play and everyone plays every team at least once, either home or away, you get exposed to these teams a little bit, which I like.
Right.
I like the fact that Twins are going to L.A. next week to play the Dodgers. They probably won't like it so much that they have to face Clayton Kershaw on Tuesday night. But
he puts on his pants same way as we do.
Yeah, but
I'm not afraid of it.
Well, Rosen, to your point, though, on the Cubs, as someone who grew up in the 80s, they were on television every
all the
single
time.
day,
Right.
nationally televised.
Right.
They were basically playing day games the vast majority of time. So when you're a kid during the summer and you turn the TV on, I probably watched just as many Cubs games as I watched Twins games because it was on at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would know Ryan Sandberg and Mark Grace and Sean Dunston and
Cowboys are on every Sunday on national TV, and I hate them.
I think a lot of people
Just hate them.
But I'm sure nationally for markets that don't have baseball teams,
Right.
like them, a lot of them were probably drawn into the Cubs because you could see them.
and kind of it was more of the baseball
How do you
card
explain it
collecting
now?
tradition.
All right.
I don't know how else to say it. I think it's just tradition.
I don't think there's the same fascination with them as there once.
No,
was.
I don't think
Well,
there
you're
is
saying
either.
there's 35, 40,000 expected.
Well,
at the
that's what
games this
Lavelle
week.
tweeted that out,
Yeah.
30 to 40,000 this weekend. Now, again, some of them might be weather's getting better in theory. Mother's Day weekend, it sort of feels like the baseball season, fishing opener. People are around.
I think I'll go watch the Saints this weekend. Are they at home?
I don't
Do we have
know,
any
but there's
indication?
nothing wrong with that. That's in Lower Town. If you ever want any tips on where to go in Lower Town, I'd be happy
Let me know how to get to Lower Town. I'm not even sure how to get there.
I'm sure you don't.
It's always good to see you. Mother's Day weekend.
Yes.
My mother's gone, and so is yours.
Yes.
But my mom's a mom. My wife's a mom, so I got that going for
That's
me,
good.
which is nice.
Enjoy.
So, and
Treasure
then
it.
it always gives you time to reflect
It sure does.
on my mom. I'm sure you will on yours.
Well,
Teneby, thanks
100%.
for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. Mark Rosen, as always, good to see you. We'll see you on
Thanks,
Monday
Howard.
at 2
Appreciate
o'clock. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're back at 12 noon. Thanks for sharing part of it with us. Big Ticket, JG, there next year on the Fan.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Minnesota!
Good night, folks. Good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Listen back to any of Common Man's by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.